this is definitely a very bad news, but you can't do anything about it.
Someone's loss is someone's gain, right? So
So if
there
you
are
have
always
any
two sides
travel
of
plan,
the
as
coin.
I
So some people
understand
will like
about the order,
this decision, some may
the
not like it.
thing is that
Because
if you travel,
for people who are on
then you
H1B
won't be able
visa,
to
this is
come back
definitely a
without
very
paying the
bad
$100,000
news. But
fee. And I'm pretty sure your
you can't
employer
do
is not going
anything
to
about
pay
it.
it.
Someone's loss is someone's
they,
gain, right?
they
So
will simply
if
say
you
that,
have any travel plan,
Tata,
as
bye
I
bye.
understand
Some people will like
about the order,
this
decision,
Uh,
some may not like
Anil,
it.
even if it is a valid
Thing is
visa,
that,
so we can't
if you
travel back.
travel,
For people who are on
then you
H1B
won't be
visa,
able to
this is
come back
definitely a
without
very
give me a
bad
second, guys.
news. But
Just one second. And I'm pretty sure your
you can't
employer
do
is not going
anything
to
about
pay
it.
it.
Someone's loss is someone's
they,
gain, right? So
they will simply
if
say
you
that,
have any travel plan,
Tata,
as
bye
I
bye. Some people
understand
will like
about the order, decision,
Uh,
some may not like
Anil,
it.
even if it is a valid
Thing is
visa,
that,
so we can't
if you
travel back.
travel,
For people who are on
then you
H1B
won't be
visa,
able to
this is
come back.
definitely
Okay,
a
I'm
very
back. Sorry, I was just checking my YouTube audio. And I'm pretty sure your employer
Yeah,
is not
Anil,
going
I
to
have
pay
a
it.
question. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
if someone has a valid visa,
Uh-huh.
H1B stamping with the same
Mhm.
company, I mean, if they want to come back from India, do they need to pay 100K?
Okay, I'm back. Yes, sorry, I was just checking. That's what I understand from the order that anyone
Yeah,
who's
Anil, I
trying
have a
to enter
question.
the
If
US,
someone has
they
if
have
someone
on
has a
H1B
valid
visa, they
visa,
have to pay the fee.
H1B stamping
Even
with the
if they
same
have a valid
company, I
visa,
mean,
I mean
if they want to
they have
come
put
back
on
from
the
India,
restriction on the
do
entry.
they need to pay 100K?
So that's what I understand. Yes.
So in the order,
That's
it
what I
also
understand from
mentions
the
something
order
about
that
petition. Like
anyone who's trying to
they
enter
will
the
check
US,
if the
they
petition.
have on H1B visa, they
So I
have
think
to pay the
it's
fee.
relating to when
Even
they
if they have a
petition.
valid visa,
During
no, I
that
mean
time, it's
they have put
100K.
on the
Something mentioned like
restriction
that,
on the
right?
entry. That is another thing. See,
that's
it's
what I
not very
understand.
clear about all the
So in the
scenarios,
order, it
but
also
the
mentions something
rule
about
that
petition. Like
I understand. See,
they
I'm not an
will
attorney. I'm
check if
just a
the
simple person like
petition.
you guys. But as
So
far
I
as
think
I
it's
understand,
relating
what
to
the order says is
when they petition.
that if you're trying
During
to
that
enter
time,
the
it's
US,
100K.
because
Something
president
mentioned like that, right?
by law has the authority to block the entry of the people. He cannot
In the
change the
order,
law
it
for
also mentions
people
something about
inside the US.
petition. Like
That's why they have
they will
not done
check
anything
if
to the
the
people who are
petition.
already present in US. But
So I
travel
think it's
ban
relating
is in
to
full authority
when they
of the
petition.
president. That's what
During
they
that
did at
time,
the
it's
time of
100K. Something
COVID
mentioned
as
like
well,
that,
right?
right?
They did the travel ban. They did not do anything to the people who are already
In the
present in
order,
the
it
US.
also mentions something about
So
petition.
I don't think that this will be stopped by court as such. So this is going to
So I
stay.
think
This
it's
is my opinion.
relating
I
to
may be wrong, and
when they
courts may have
petition.
a different opinion. But until then, this is a travel ban, and I'm pretty sure nobody is going to pay 100K unless you are making like 500K something, and then you pay the fee and come back. And that too, the fee is like $100,000 per year. It's going to be very crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
But
my
until then,
experience, I mean, even
this
for
is a
a
travel
new
ban,
laptop or
and I'm
MacBook,
pretty
I
sure
mean, if
nobody
you
is going to
ask
pay
manager
100K
or something,
unless
I
you are
mean, approval, it will
making
go
like
to director
500K
level,
something,
VP
and
level.
then
Sometimes
you
it is
pay the fee and come back.
100K. I mean, no
And
company is
that to the
going to
fee is like yes,
authorize the 100K.
it's
I
going
mean,
to be very crazy. Yes,
yeah, I mean, my experience,
that's the truth.
even
So
for a new
you never
laptop
know.
or MacBook, I mean,
In
if you
fact,
ask
I know
manager
a
or
couple of
something,
people I
even
know from
approval, it will go to
big tech
director level,
companies.
VP level.
They have
Sometimes
already
it
got
goes
the
to 100K. I
email
mean,
from
no
their
company is
attorneys
going
saying
to
that if you
authorize the 100K. I mean,
come back by tomorrow night positively. After that, we don't know what is going to happen because this just came out and all of them are still trying to digest the news. And then it's very difficult to take a decision as to at the company level also. I mean, you cannot just simply take out 100K per person and deposit in the government's account unless you are very critical to the project, right? That the project will not even run without you. And usually that's never the case with any company, right? We all are very replaceable resources anyway, isn't it? That's the truth of life.
yeah, even CEO leave the company also company will run, right? I mean, I don't think
Exactly. The project will not even run without you. And usually that's never the case with any company, right? You are all we all are very
it's very difficult to
replaceable
So Anil, I have a
resources
question.
anyway,
So what
isn't it?
if people travel
That's the truth
from
of
US
life.
to
Never the case with any
okay.
company, right? Because the ban is on
replaceable
So Anil, I have a
resources
question.
anyway.
the entry.
So what
So
if
from
people
wherever you
travel
enter,
from
the ban is there.
US? Or everything we cannot go, I guess.
Obviously, nobody knows. They have not mentioned anything about the cruise trips.
Yeah,
But
correct.
but
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you are entering, so basically there is a travel record, and even if it is a cruise, and you went to the international, you cross the international border, then of course.
Or everything we cannot go, I guess.
Got it.
Got
Obviously,
the point.
nobody knows. They have not. So technically speaking, they have just given a travel ban sort of a
Yeah,
thing. You pay the fee for
correct.
the
But
entry.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you are entering, so you enter from Canada, you go by flight or you walk through the border and come back. Everything is going to be chargeable with $100,000.
Then of course,
I mean, I don't know. You
Or
have to
everything
travel
we
with a
cannot go,
check
I
in your
guess.
hand.
Got
Obviously,
the point.
nobody knows. They have not. So technically speaking, they have
Yeah.
just given a travel ban sort of a
Yeah,
thing.
I
You
don't
pay
know.
the
I mean,
fee
it's
for the
going
going
to
to
be
be
entry.
so
so
If you are
difficult for
difficult.
entering,
people. I'm
you enter
just
from
thinking
Canada,
about
you go by flight or you
people
walk
who
through
are
the border and come
who
back.
went to
Everything is
India
going to be
for
chargeable with
any emergency
$100,000.
or to visit
I
for
mean,
the parents
I
visit, and
don't know.
like
You have yeah, to travel exactly.
what,
They are
what
stuck.
will
And
happen.
so I'm just telling them that do whatever you can, take a chartered flight or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, it's going to be
Uh,
so difficult for
just
people.
come back
I'm just
immediately
thinking about
by tomorrow night. It's 12
people
midnight Eastern time
who went to
that the ban
India
starts. If you
for any
just
emergency
want
or
to
to visit
come
for the
back,
parents visit, and
come back tomorrow.
like
Anyhow, just
what
pack your
will
bags,
happen.
leave everything, enter the US, and then
Yeah,
think about certain things. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. Just come back immediately by tomorrow
Hi
night.
Anil,
It's
just
12
one
midnight
clarity
Eastern
I'm
time
looking for. When you
that the ban
say we should
starts.
pay
If you just
100K, I'm
want
assuming
to
that's the
come
employer
back,
who should pay, right?
come back tomorrow.
Even their
Anyhow, it
report
doesn't
says.
matter.
Okay.
Enter the US, and they don't care. They have put on the money thing. I think just to make sure that they get the revenue. It's like tariff.
Hi
They were
Anil, just
always
one
saying that tariff
clarity
is
I'm
paid by
looking
the other
for. When you
countries.
say we
But in
should pay
reality,
100K, I'm
like
assuming
if
that's
you
the
understand
employer who should
economics,
pay, right?
everything is paid
Even
by
their
the consumer. It doesn't
consumer.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the truth. They
Okay.
don't care. They have
Even with
put
the
on
payment,
the
like there's no
money thing.
details like which
I
account
think
you have
just
paid,
to
none.
make
It's
sure that
very
they get the
vague
revenue.
what they
It's
put
like
right
tariff.
now.
They were always saying yeah, it's more comprehensive, definitely. And but in see, nobody knows. Everyone is just reading it and interpreting it in their own manner. So it depends how
Consumer. Yeah.
restrictive you
Yeah.
want to be and how liberal
Even
you
with the
want to be
payment,
with
like
that
there's no
order.
details like which
But
account you have
the
paid,
thing
none.
is
It's
that
very vague what
it
they
is
put
very
right now.
difficult time, and
yeah,
it's more comprehensive. I wouldn't suggest you going out of the country because if you go out, then it's very difficult for that. And I assume that they will ask for an
Even with the
entry.
payment, like there's
That's
no
the first step
details
I
like
would
which
say.
account
Don't
you have
just
paid, none. It's
assume
very
that nothing
vague
will
what
happen
they
to you.
put right now. Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
I
hi
would
Anil.
see because see on the airport if they say that no you have to pay 100K, what will you do? It's not like a small amount like 5K or 10K that you can just pay and come back saying that okay, it's okay, doesn't matter. If you are okay, if you are working in a company with a $1 million
Yeah.
package, you might just
Hey,
think 100K is
hi
nothing for you
Anil.
and you can travel because see on the airport if they say that no you have to
And
pay
is
So,
100K,
this
what will you do?
amount like
It's
for
not like a
only
small
one
amount like
person
5K or
or a
10K
family,
that you
like
can
per
just
family?
pay and come. It should be. I think they have put the charge on the H1B visa, not on any other visa. If you are working in a company, so I'm guessing that
Yeah.
it should be just fine.
hey,
See, I'm also like you.
hi
I'm not an
Anil.
attorney. You can travel. Okay, so don't take it as a legal advice.
And
I'm
is this
understanding from
amount
the
like
news
for
and the attorneys that I have read and spoken to. That's what is my understanding. Okay,
So
and to be frank, nobody is clear. Every attorney has their own interpretation, and they're just saying that we don't know how it's going to play out in the reality because this has never happened before, and this is not even a law. They've just, written something on paper and then they are just
so
throwing it
I'm
out.
reading the proclamation or the executive order. So in that,
And they're just
the
saying that
first
we
section
don't
does
know
kind
how
of
it's going
say
to play
that
out in the reality
on
because
entry
this has
they
never
will check
happened before,
if your
and this is
petition
not even
that
a
was
law.
filed
They've
did
just,
include the
written
100,000
something
K
on paper
fee,
and then they are
right?
just
So
if it was
it
not
looks like
included,
reading
if it was
the
not included, then you have to
proclamation
pay.
or the executive order. So in that, I don't think I see that you have to pay like a person. I think they just check if the petition that was
It doesn't.
filed
It doesn't
did
matter,
include the
right?
no, no. So I think it's very clear. I mean, the step will be if you
If it
are
was
on
not
H1B
included,
visa
if
trying
it
to
was not
enter
included, then you have to
US,
pay.
they will
Uh-huh.
check, okay, when your petition was filed, did it have the 100K fees paid or not?
It
If not
doesn't.
paid, then
It
they will
doesn't matter.
not let you enter. Now that's part one of entry. The
Mhm.
second part relates to that moving forward, any petition filed, H1B
Uh-huh.
petitions filed, will have to include the 100K fee.
Right.
So that's what it is basically.
So did you guys
If not
read
paid,
the
then they
fact
will
sheet that was
not
followed
let
it up,
you enter.
posted?
Now that's
So
part
there they
one
have
of
clearly
entry.
laid
The
out
second part
exactly what it
relates
means,
to
right?
that
I don't know
You,
if you
moving
you,
guys.
forward,
there
any
is too much
petition
noise
filed,
behind you
H1B
talking, I think.
petitions filed,
Can you move to a
will have to
quieter room?
include the 100K
Okay.
fee.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
that's what it is
Yeah.
basically.
So did you guys read? Yeah, what I was saying is they followed it up with a fact sheet. They posted on the White House website, and there they have laid it out clearly what are the facts, right? And it clearly says it.
There is too
If you
much
read it,
noise
it's
behind you.
clearly mentioned it's a travel
No,
ban. You
no.
can read
Can
it.
you move to a? We can't hear you at all. I mean, you
Okay.
have to go
Yeah,
to
thank you.
somewhere else.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
did you
hi.
guys
Anil,
read? Yeah, what I was saying
I,
is
I
they
will
followed
ask
it
a
up with a
question
fact sheet
in the
they
meantime.
posted on the White House
So,
website,
remember
and
when
there they have
this
laid it out
birthright
clearly what are the
citizenship
facts, right?
thing
And it
was
clearly says it. If you
implemented, the
read it, it's
executive order,
clearly
it was
mentioned it's a
immediately
travel ban.
challenged and people are still getting the benefit. But
You have
do
to
you
go
think
to somewhere
that
else.
level of challenge can be
Yeah, hi.
done in
Yeah, what
this
I was
case,
saying
or or I
is they
will
followed
because
it up
it's
with a fact
just
sheet
a
they
visa,
posted on the
non-immigrant
White
visa,
House
it
website,
cannot be
and
challenged
there
the
they have
similar
laid
way
it out
birthright
clearly what are the
citizenship
facts,
was
right? And it
challenged,
clearly
Yes, so what I
implemented the
understand is
executive
the
order, it was
travel ban
immediately
is within
challenged
the
and
president's
people are
authority
still getting the
right now.
benefit. But
So that
do
may
you think
not be,
that level of challenge can be
restricted
Yeah,
by
hi.
the
done in this
court.
case,
I
or
may be
because
wrong.
it's
See, I don't know
just
that
a
part of the law,
visa,
but
non-immigrant visa, it cannot be
Yeah,
based on
just
my
challenged
just
the similar
understanding,
way
travel
birthright
ban is
citizenship was
probably what
challenged.
president can do, and that's what they have done.
Implemented the
yeah.
executive order,
So
it
Anil,
was
just
immediately
off that,
challenged and
I guess question
people
for
are
Authority
still
you.
getting the
right now.
benefit.
The
So
fees
that may
for
not be,
the
That level of
H1B, say
challenge can be
renewal,
restricted
or
by
the
done
the
in
thousand
this
bucks
court.
case, or
I may be
because
existing
wrong.
it's
See, I
fees,
don't know
which has
that
been
part of the
bumped up
law,
to
but
non-immigrant visa,
$100,000,
it cannot be
based
does
on my
that
challenged the similar
require
way
understanding,
a
travel
birthright
ban is
congressional
citizenship was
probably what
approval
challenged.
president
process?
can do, and
If
that's
it
what they have
actually
done.
does,
Yeah. So
then I
Anil,
guess the
just off
challenge and the
that, I
litigation
guess
should
question
go
for you.
through. But if it's
The
not, if it's
fees
really under
for
the
the
administration of the
H1B, say
current government,
renewal,
then
or
they
the
would
thousand
essentially
bucks
say, we
existing
set the
fees,
rules,
which
we
has
set
been
the
bumped up to
fees, this is what you
$100,000,
have to pay.
does
So
that
that's kind of like the
require a
first thing.
congressional
And the second thing
approval
is 100%
process?
agree. This
If it
sounds like
actually
more like a
does,
travel
yeah.
ban.
So Anil, just
But
the
if a
challenge and
person
the
is living in
litigation,
the
I guess, should
US
go through.
and they
But if it's
continue to
not, if it's
renew
really
within the
under the
country by
administration of the
filing I
current government,
129s,
then
they
they would
would
essentially
continue to do it under
say,
the
we set the rules,
old
we set the
regime
fees,
essentially and not
this is
have to
what you
pay
have to
this
pay.
if they
So that's
don't
kind of
step
like the
out of the
first
country. Is
thing.
that
And
your
the second
understanding
thing
as
is
well?
100% agree.
This
If it
sounds like
actually
more like a
does,
travel ban.
then I guess the
But if a
challenge and
person
the
is living in
litigation,
the
I guess,
US,
should
whatever, but it's a visa fee. Like file the cost to file a H1B as a new petition, not renewals within the country, would all be within the purview of the president, and seems like that would be very hard to challenge in the courts.
Exactly. So what I understand is you can file the
Whatever,
extension, you
if it's
get
a visa fee, like
transfers, amendments, whatever you want.
the yeah,
As
cost to
long as
file
you
a
stay within the
H1B as a
country,
new petition,
you're out of
not
this
renewals within the
100K
country,
fee. But
yep,
as soon as you
would all
leave
be
and
within
come
the
back,
purview of the
then
president,
you
and
have to.
seems like
And in
that
some
would be
cases,
very
they
hard to
might force
challenge
you
in
to
the
do that
courts.
because exactly. So what I understand is
Yeah,
you can file the
whatever,
extension, you
if
get
it's a visa fee, like
transfers, amendments, approve it as a
yeah,
consular,
to
and
file
then
a
they
H1B
force you
as
to
a
go
new
out and
petition,
cut it off.
not renewals within the
That
country,
Hey
that'll
Anil,
yep,
as soon as you
would all
leave
can you
be
hear
and
me?
come
within the
back,
I
purview of the
also had the
then
president,
you
and
same
have to.
question
seems
as
like
And
Avdesh,
in
right?
that
some
would be
Because
cases,
I
very
they
hard
also
to
might
feel
force
that
challenge
you to
in the
do that
courts.
because
this would have to go
exactly.
through
So what
the
I
approval
understand is they have the
process.
authority to
Whatever,
you know
if
get
it's a visa fee, like
transfers, amendments,
file
approve it as a
yeah,
consular,
to
and
file
then
a
they lose you,
H1B
force you
as
to
a new
go out and cut
petition,
it off.
not renewals within the country,
Hey Anil,
That'll
yep,
as soon as you
would all
can you
leave
be
hear
and
me?
come
within the
back,
I
purview of the
also had the
then you
president, and
same
have to.
question
seems
as
like
And
Avdesh,
in
right?
some
that would be
cases,
Because I
very
oh,
hard to
also
someone
feel
else
that
challenge
can
in the
speak.
courts.
Hey
this
Anil,
would have
this
to
is
go
Rajesh.
through
Can you hear me?
the
Yes,
approval
I can hear you.
process.
This is crazy.
Because
So
I
I have a visa interview on 23rd in Ottawa. I was about to cross the border to Canada, and I saw this news and I stopped and turned back to Chicago today, just a
hey
couple
Anil,
of hours
Wow.
ago.
can you hear me?
Wow.
So,
I also had the same question
me and my wife, we both have the
Okay,
appointment.
someone else
Now
can
we are
speak.
thinking Hey Anil, this is we'll wait Rajesh. out and Can you see hear what me? happens. But
Yes,
do
I
you know if
can hear you.
H4s can This is crazy. So I travel and have come back a because she has to visa attend her interview on brother's wedding? 23rd in Ottawa. I So was we are about to thinking, cross the maybe border I'll to stay back Canada, and I here. saw this news and I But if stopped she and turned can back to travel Chicago
See,
today,
nobody
just a
knows.
couple of hours
There is
ago.
nothing written in the
So,
order, so we are all guessing right now.
okay. me So
Okay.
and my wife, we H4s both have
Someone
the also. I was not
else
sure
can speak.
if they'll probably
Nobody.
ask the. We'll wait out and see
Okay.
what happens. But
Yes.
do you know if H4s can
Only
travel
exclusively
and
written
come
for
back because she has
H1B,
to
but
attend her
if
brother's
they
wedding?
stop and say
So we are
that, okay,
thinking,
H1B
maybe I'll
has
stay
not
back
paid the
here.
fees, you are not
But if she
allowed,
can
then
travel
I mean, I
today,
don't know
just a couple of hours ago.
what's going to
Crazy.
happen in the
So
outcome,
we'll know
right? We are all
probably
guessing
on
right now.
Monday because
Okay.
because it's
So
in
H4s
effect from
also,
Sunday night. So we'll know if
nobody.
they're allowing
Tomorrow night, Saturday night.
tomorrow night. Okay.
Only
Wow.
exclusively written for H1B.
So
That's why I'm
if they
saying that
stop and
whosoever
say that,
wants to
okay,
come,
maybe I'll stay
just
back here,
take a
she can
chartered
travel.
flight and land in US before 12 midnight will
Crazy.
happen in the
So we'll
outcome.
know
Then,
probably on
I
Monday
mean,
because
because
this
otherwise
is
you will have to
in
pay
effect from
100K.
Sunday
Just
night.
pay
So
$10,000
we'll
for
know
chartered
if they're
flight and
allowing
come down immediately.
tomorrow night. Okay. Wow.
If you want to come. And otherwise, you are at the mercy of your employer. And most probably, the employer will also say, "Oh, you're not worth 100K." Right? They
So
have
we'll
to
know
pay
probably
100K
on Monday
just to
because
let you enter the
in effect from
country.
Sunday
Just
night.
pay
So
$10,000
we'll
for
know
chartered
if they're
flight and
allowing
come down. They are also trying to find out ways
tomorrow night.
to,
Okay. Wow.
circumvent this ban, but it will take some time for them to create strategies. Right?
Most likely
You have, they have to
this
pay
does not
100K
impact
just
money
to
also.
let you
When,
enter the
as you said,
country. Just pay
if you are in US, you are
$10,000
not
for chartered
impacted.
flight and come down.
Only
They are
if
also
you are
trying to
outside
find
with
out
the
ways to,
circumstances, that's very
circumvent this
less
ban, but
category of people who are outside the
it will take
country
some time for
or
them
who
to
is a
create
new
strategies.
H1B, those will be impacted. So technically, if you think of, let's say, 20, 25,000 people just in case, I'm thinking they are outside because of a sick leave, travel, marriage, visa, etc. By and large, country is not impacted because it's very less category of people who are out. That's why in the last meeting probably they have taken this all consideration and they have spoken with big these IT companies. They might have given approval because it won't impact. It's just 1 year of thing, and probably at this point they are not hiring any new. AI will do many of the jobs. So I think in the last
Sorry to
meeting
stop
probably
you.
they have taken this
Who's
all
speaking? I can't really
consideration and they have
find out.
spoken with
But your
big
audio is
these
not
IT
great. I'm not
companies.
able to
They
understand what
might
you're
have
saying.
given approval
Audio
because
is little
it won't
shaky.
impact. It's just 1 year of thing, and
Sorry about that.
probably at this point they are not switch the mic now. AI will just excuse at this moment. I just
Sorry,
so that
sorry
they
to
can't
stop
switch
you.
mic at this
Who's
moment.
speaking?
But
I can't really make find
yeah,
out.
you can
But
speak a
your
little. That's
audio is
fine.
not great. I'm not able
Anil,
to
I just wanted a
understand what
quick
you're saying.
clarification. You mentioned
Audio is
that
little
they can force you out under which
shaky.
circumstance? Like they can ask you to go and get the visa stamped again.
AI
Uh-huh.
will increase this moment, and
I
if
think
you
you
go
just
for
mentioned earlier.
if you
See,
go for H1B visa,
the
sorry.
simplest way to understand is if you leave and come
Anil,
back,
I just wanted a quick clarification. You mentioned
the
that they can
$100,000
force you
have to
out
be paid,
under
whether you go for visa
circumstance, like
stamp or not.
they can ask
No,
you
I was
That's
to
what.
no, I was
get the
no,
visa
I was
stamp
mentioning
again.
about you. You mentioned
Uh-huh.
that they cannot force you to
I think
leave
you
to
just
get
mentioned
the visa
earlier.
stamp.
If you go for
But
H1B
like if
visa,
your what
The
I-94 or something
simplest
get
way to
expired, you
understand is
mentioned
if you
something.
leave and
I didn't
come
Yeah,
catch
back,
it.
yeah. I think that was when I was
the
asking the question.
hundred
So
thousand
I
dollar
think what
have to be
Anil was
paid,
saying
whether you go
was,
for visa stamp or
say
not.
you apply for an extension within the country, file an I-129, but you say I'm just going to get the I guess extension here. What they could do is essentially say that you have to actually go abroad and get the stamp overseas as a consular processing. I'm not too sure if that's even a thing, but maybe they do it. I mean, that way it would be absolutely harsh on the USCIS to essentially tell someone when they are entitled for an in-country extension, like file an I-129 and just do about your business, just do your job. But they could say that, hey, go and get a visa outside. We're not going to give you an extension in the country. I know that can happen with other types of visas, like your TN1 or whatever outside the H1B, but I just don't know if that could happen to an H1B holder. And that's why I was a little confused too.
Yeah, I have not heard that happen before. God, hopefully it doesn't happen. My visa is actually under extension right now. They just applied, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, you're right. We'll probably have to see how it goes in the future.
So the two things, your visa or your extension when you are in the US, because getting a visa is totally different thing. You have to be go outside from the country.
Yeah.
So, Ani, would you not recommend H4s to travel as well at this
yeah,
point then,
yeah.
based
Don't
on
travel,
what you're
man,
saying?
because the rules are not clear.
Okay.
Nobody knows how they will be treated.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
And also in
best to
the
avoid.
during the signing of the executive order, one of the press persons asked, "Does it apply for renewals?" And the guy said, "Yes, it applies for renewals as well." Um, I'm not sure if like that wording is in the actual executive order. The Commerce Secretary, I forgot his name.
Yeah, Lutovic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
what I heard.
yeah. So he said that, but I didn't see that wording for the renewals. In the actual executive order.
Okay.
So according to you, you're saying that if you're in the country and you're applying for an extension, technically you don't have to pay the 100K.
Yes, that's what I understand.
Okay.
Hey Anil, did you read the fact sheet that they posted after they posted the order? I think that is clarifying a lot of things and making things. I think they are clarifying themselves what they posted in the order, right? And that is kind of confirming it's a travel ban. At least that's what I'm reading there, right? I'm not sure if everyone has read that, but if you read it, it's in fact they are clarifying themselves what is in the order.
That was not the, I think, official sheet.
No, it's posted by the White House. You go to the White House website, and there they have posted. Go under the fact sheet section, you'll see it posted, and they
Okay.
have clearly. If someone's there, you can right now go to the White House website, and let me see. I have it open. If you go to the White House website, then go to news, and then there's fact sheet.
Okay. Any more questions? Sorry, I was just chatting with the people on YouTube also. So if somebody is not speaking, they can just leave as a speaker, and then someone else can join and they can speak. We will. I mean, everyone can get a chance to speak and share their opinion, or maybe discuss whatever they want to discuss. Because Twitter Spaces allows only, I think, I don't know, 10 or 15 people to be speaker at the same time. So unless someone leaves, I cannot let anyone else in as a speaker. Okay, thank you. Someone made the space. Okay, Nishchal, you have something to say? You're next in line.
Now, I just wanted to know that how if this also apply to the renewals, which I'm not sure it is clear at this point or no. So what should be the next point of action? Should we start putting the home on the sale, or do you think that there will be some there will be some sort of
Yeah.
the sort of the litigation, which I don't know because it's a welfare for the US citizens. Why someone just go and file the sue this EU into the court?
Yeah, I mean, uh, renewals, extensions, transfers, amendment within USA are fine. They are not charging fee for that. Okay, but they are saying is as you try to enter the US using H1B visa from outside, then the fee has to be paid. Because some of the attorneys are saying that the president has the authority to stop people from entering the US. Okay, but he doesn't have the authority to change the laws within the US. For that, he has to go through the proper process and the Congress. You understand?
I got it, but even you do the renewals, but you cannot go outside of the country.
Yes, renewal in the sense that let's say that you apply for extension and you get approval. So you will be getting I-94 anyway, right? So you can keep staying in the US without any issue.
Okay.
But if you go outside, then you have to get the visa stamp, and then they are saying that until you pay the fees, the visa will not be issued at all. And if you already have the visa, you have to pay the fee before you enter the US.
Okay.
That's what is a crux that I understood.
Okay. Does this is this permanent, or I think someone was saying, or I read somewhere it is supposed to be or a review next year?
Yes. So what
Or
they're saying
okay.
is that this rule has been set up for 12 months, and they might extend it after 12 months. Basically, they will review before it ends in 2026, and they might extend it if they think that there is a need for it. Basically, I think, see, the crux is they're trying to shake the whole thing just like they did with the tariffs. You remember what happened with Chinese tariffs, that it's 100% tariff, then 150%, then 200% tariff. At one specific point, it doesn't even make sense, right? 200% tariff is useless. There is no way you can do business with 200% tariff, right? That's what China said. That at this, when they had, I think, for 245% tariff at one point of time. So at that point, they said that, it doesn't even make sense. Nobody can do business with that kind of tariff. So it's better that we stop doing it. So I
No,
think
but
that's
remember
what
that, yeah, but remember that China also put the reverse tariff on the US when they put tariff on
exactly.
China. Are the Indian government are gonna do something to crack this down? Maybe they said, "Hey
Yeah,
guys, take
yeah.
out your business."
I spoke to Nirmala Tai, and she's saying that I'll put 68% GST on iPhone.
See, I think what Trump is trying to do, he's just testing the water, just like he's
Exactly.
doing for his all policies so far. He's doing the same thing. He knows it's not going to be succeed. So he's
Yeah.
just testing the water, and later on he can blame other people or judges. Like, see what I did, but they are not letting me do that the right thing for you
Yes.
people.
Quite possible that this is going to happen. But right now, the situation is that the ban is in place from tomorrow, and by the time it goes to courts and courts issue some kind of, courts give some kind of relief or something, people will be in dilemma, and you never know, the courts may stretch this maybe 1 month or 2 months, and by that time there will be a lot of people who will be affected, and it is possible that some may lose their job because their employers have abandoned them. That's a possibility, right? On a serious note. Okay, so
Yeah.
people who are already in flight and they have not heard the news, they will be surprised and they will be lucky to land tonight or maybe tomorrow. But people who are still in India or wherever, like China or wherever they are, I would suggest them to take charter private flight, come to USA to buy tomorrow night somehow. Just don't wait.
Hey, Anil, this is Rahul. I just have a very quick question. So, I mean, this ban, I'm assuming it's also considering, the H1B renewals that happens based on I-140 approved. That's also included, right?
Everything is included. They have not given anything about I-140 in the proclamation.
That's what I
See,
was thinking.
see, I-140 has nothing to do with H1B in that sense anyway. Because I-140 is for a future job, not for the H1B job. H1B is a separate train track, then the I-140 and green card track.
No, yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I mean, the reason why I was asking, right, if you recall, right, during the press conference, one of the person asked and they said like, H1B is for 6 years, and if you uh, gave like 100K years, 600K you have to pay. So I-140 approved is generally after 6 years, right? You get H1B extension for 3 years. That's the reason I was thinking if there is anything specific for that.
No, nothing is written for that in the proclamation. Proclamation only says that if you are entering on the H1B visa, you should pay the fee. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
So all the use cases, permutations, and combinations have to be realized after people start entering from, Sunday night or not Saturday night. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Anand.
Hey Anil,
Hey guys,
so what about people those who have already stamped a visa, approved visa, and if they are traveling outside the US and
Uh-huh.
they have the stamped visa and coming back, what happens in that case?
So I
As
just
per,
read the. Sorry,
yeah,
please go ahead.
as per my understanding, even if you have the stamped visa, you have to pay the fees. Some people have the opinion that that's not correct, but my opinion is that they will ask you to pay fee. So it's better not to travel.
Or not? I mean, let's say if I have a travel plan back next year in January or February, still it's not a good time to travel.
Well, you sleep over it and ask your wife tomorrow morning if she has 100K, then you might want to travel.
yeah, the
See,
rule clearly says not to travel, so not to travel. There are no more stops or any pronouns
see
attached
it.
to it.
Yeah, I don't know what will happen after 1 month. There may be a court order
Yeah.
because lawsuits will be filed by companies, right? Because a lot of business will be affected.
Yeah.
Right.
So one question is what might be the rationale behind this, cracking down the cases only outside of the US? Because they could have easily added a couple of more wordings there that the extensions or any new renewals could also be a part of this proposal. But how soon or how close are we with closing off the complete H1B? How this can be challenged in the court of law?
So what attorneys are saying is president has the authority to ban the entry of people in the USA. That's why they have gone this route. Because if you remember, they banned the entry from Muslim nations as well earlier, and it was like upheld by the courts. So they have a broad authority there, but they don't have the authority to change the law within the US. That has to come through the Congress. So I think that's what they are banking on. So at least see, even if the courts strike it out or put a stay on this order, it is going to take a month or two, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. So at least for 1 or 2 months, they would have given a signal to their core voters that we tried, but the courts are not in our favor. So that's what I think matter politically for them. That the signal goes to their core voter that we tried. That's what they're aiming for. Nobody wants to see the business. The big tech is a big lobby, right? And they were saying, I mean, the president clearly said that Uh, I know that I mean they have consulted the big tech and they are very happy with that. So there is a conspiracy theory that I wrote on Twitter this evening that maybe they are trying to remove H1B and push the AI down the throat of other companies that use technology for their business. So maybe that's a plan behind the scene. Nobody knows what is going to happen. I'm just making my theories here. But from the legal point of view, president has the authority to ban the entry of people. So that's what they have done. So it is difficult. It will be a challenge in the court, and then it will take some time in the court.
Yeah, Anil, I had a question.
Uh-huh.
My wife H4ED and the extension just approved.
Uh-huh.
Her initial stamping was valid till November of 2025.
To be frank, I'm not an attorney. Okay, so I can don't take it as a legal advice. I'm just sharing my experiences there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got the approval for her H4EAD and the I-535 extension.
Uh-huh.
So, her current validity is only until November 2025. So, uh, the CBP officer told me she can go and get uh, her I-94 extended within if she goes re-enters the port of entry at any nearby border of
Yeah,
US.
yeah, yeah, that is
But now
doable.
that starting September 21st, even the H4 is not recommended to travel, right? So, what could be
Yeah,
done
I
in that
wouldn't
case?
I
I have an
wouldn't
approval
recommend.
until 2027, so I'm good. But
So when is your wife's I-94 expiring?
uh, this November 2025,
You still
November
have time.
20th.
You still have,
Yeah.
yeah, you still have time. So wait for like 10, 15 days. We will get the information about if they are letting H4 enter or not. Okay. That
Okay.
way you can take a decision maybe in first week of October.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
if
would
we all
suggest to.
start nominating for Nobel Prize and start sharing screenshot, will that help?
Yeah, that might help. That's a good idea
Yes.
actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe few more
Quite
statues of
great.
Trump in India and Abhishek and all the good stuff. That might change his mind a little.
Every house should have Trump our name. Just hang it in front of your house, Trump Tower.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
this
that's a good idea.
do you think, I mean, again, it's a broader question. I just have this thing in mind with Trump and versus Modi, the Twitter sentiment. That's like a cat and mouse fight. What I'm noticing, do you think is just the ego war before entering the talks? All this is if you see, the sentiment is completely since last 8 months is kind of off towards Indians. So do you think it's just that kind of a hate which is carrying forward towards
It is.
like you know
See, every politician tries to prepare for the next election and tries to capture the core vote base. So everything is being done to cater to that segment, right? So there is no denying the fact that, of course, the core voter wants this to happen. So even if it is like not fully compliant with the law, they are trying to push it so that at least it is in the news and the core voter stays with them.
Yeah, even if they are not saying, I definitely agree that they are targeting, because few days back we heard that they were trying to impose tariff on software services,
Right.
and then this. So I think it's all we are being targeted.
I think
Yeah,
maybe a couple of
that's
more decades.
great.
I mean, if you've seen the revolution, right? So every time a new race, a new ethic ethnicity evolves in this country, they need to fight back. So maybe this is the fight back, couple of more decades where I don't know what generation is this. Maybe they'll grow up, or maybe that kind of a thing would take another couple of decades where they can accept Indians like, yeah, they are a part of us. Maybe that hatred would subside with time.
Well, I don't think so because that's general human nature. In every country, you see the majority will try to suppress minority. And in this country, we are a minority. But back in our own country, we are also trying to do the same, isn't it? So it's human nature. And I guess that's my personal opinion that because of social media, the algorithm tries to push you toward the extremes.
Yeah.
Maybe it is either left extreme or maybe right extreme.
Mm.
So it depends. So
I'm also a data guy, so I keep analytics on what kind of memes are rolling over towards the Browns in last 4 5 years, and I have seen a sudden spike of all this Indian curry jokes that are circulating for the last. There's a
Yeah,
drastic spike in that.
right.
So
see,
clearly the data. Clearly the
Every Trump
data.
administration, there is certain race which is being targeted. Last Trump administration, like 1.0, there was a different. Now 2.0, we are targeted.
Mhm.
Yeah, because probably they have found the sweet spot where their core vote-based sentiment is. Maybe that's the sentiment they're trying to capture for next election. There is nothing wrong in it. Every political party tries to do the same. They don't care about anything else except to stay in the power. So if that will happen, the people will have, I mean, we will have to ride the wave. That's what I can say. So everyone is in a unique position and try to do the best for yourself.
And I think we should stop portraying this Modi versus Trump because this is something US is keep doing. I think since last several months, and I don't see any big no from India
And
side, not other countries. So I think we haven't got back the any back from our government. I don't know what will happen in next week. Are they gonna do something to at least show that at least they are not happy? Because if we as also get benefited at least in the terms of monetary, so at least someone should do a at least press conference as they do on a small thing in India.
Well,
No, it was never a Modi versus Trump discussion. But if you have active seeing where the US dollar is going, then clearly, whenever somebody is scared or somebody is very obsessed with some, that's what my point was.
yeah, it could be. But politics is very complex and dirty anyway. At our level, we won't be able to understand that. So
I agree.
yeah, so and then if we try to do that, there will be fights here itself. We are going to fight among ourselves because everyone has their own favorite people, like favorite ideology and everything. But at the end of the day, the matter that we're discussing here is about H1B and what you should do to keep your position intact so that you are not affected by sudden change in circumstances. So, my opinion is that don't travel. But if you have to travel, like you have an emergency in the home and your parents are not doing well, then of course you will have to. At that point, you have to take a decision what to do. There's no, no yeah.
So this 100K, Anil, is paid by the employer or the person who travels?
You ask yourself, will your employer pay 100K for you?
But am I allowed to pay 100K for myself?
Your employer can ask you to pay that you.
Per year.
For
Per year.
example,
Exactly.
from front end, he will pay. From back end, he will ask to submit it to
Exactly.
transfer it to bank accounts.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like the situation, right? You spoke about if you have real emergency and you need to travel, right?
even if my employer doesn't pay and my parents are sick, right? God forbid that happens, I would travel, right, and don't mind paying that money, right?
Yeah.
Versus your employer.
They have not clearly
See,
mentioned
I mean,
anything,
like
so
there is a flaw in the question itself. Like you should not be asking that question to an open room because clearly the rule says 100K towards the employers. That's what it says.
Yeah.
And now if you ask the question to a room full of people on like whether I pay you pay, that opens a new debate altogether, right? Which you don't want to happen.
Right.
So
That's
just
true.
putting out there like what questions we should ask to an open forum.
no. For example, I don't know exactly how they will play it out in the real world, but for the premium processing fee of H1B, you are allowed to pay it even if the
Yeah.
employer is not paying it. So I'm guessing that this will be considered same as premium processing fee.
Oh no, no. The rule is on the Whiteout website. Says the proclamation requires employers to retain documentation of payment remittance with the
That's
Secretary of
fine.
this.
That's fine. That's fine because H1B application is not a personal application. It's always filed by the employer. So even if you file the H1B in premium processing, the employer has to file it, but you can pay for it. You can pay the premium processing fee from your account legally. That's my point. But it is
And this is
paid by the employer. You cannot file the pre-processing yourself. Like you cannot sign the document. You can sign the check, the payment, but you cannot sign the request. That's a difference for H1B. So what I'm thinking is that they will treat it as premium processing fee for entry as well. And then I'm guessing that you should be allowed to file because at the end of the day, the only concern is to make it difficult and expensive to bring you in the US, right? So that the is job goes in favor of someone who is already in the US rather than someone outside the US. That's their whole idea. Because if you read the first 4 or 5 paragraph, that's what they are saying that US Americans are losing job because of this. So they want to protect it and make it expensive to bring person from outside US. The whole idea is revolving around that thought.
so Anil, that means like there will be job opportunities increased for people here,
Yeah, see, someone,
right?
of course, someone's loss is someone's gain. But the other point of view is also true because, see, if it's a technology job and the physical presence is not needed, then the companies might decide to move the job to maybe near shore Mexico, Canada. There are a lot of countries where the offshore centers have been set up. So that's also possible. But it will vary from company to company how comfortable they are and what they want to do, right? Because in some areas like healthcare, I know there are laws where you cannot move all the everything outside the US. There are controls on the data and
Yeah.
some of the services. So those cannot be moved out. But pretty much everything else, if they have to move, they will move.
But will the companies be hiring H1Bs anymore or no? If this
Right now,
the whole point.
right now the market is very tough, and
Yeah.
I hear it from everyone every day. In fact, a lot of people call me, and I hear it every day that they are finding it very difficult. As soon as you check that mark that I need sponsorship, you don't even get a call.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it is difficult right now also. Because with these kind of rules, and the company will be very skeptical to even take an interview because they know that if you have to go out for any emergency, because your family is of course in India, right? India or maybe somewhere Mexico or wherever they are outside US, they know that there will be problems, and then why would they spend money on your training and all those expenses that they have to bear? At least the consulting companies will be finding it very difficult to hire anyone here because their business model is directly affected. Other companies who are big tech who already pay like $500,000 or $1 million packages, they might still be able to get through it. Some way or the other, but consulting is going to be badly affected. And then on top of it, they're saying that if you try to come here through some other visa and then try to convert, that's also not allowed. Like some people would like to come here on B1 visa and then try to file change of status to H1B. They are saying that's also not allowed. You have to pay.
Hey,
Yes, please speak on. What's your name?
yeah, my name is Arvind. I think it's showing us LinkedIn, but my name is Arvind.
Okay.
Now, we've been talking about these H1B visa. There was another aspect in that EO which mentioned the Trump Gold Card. Now, the Trump Gold Card essentially is expected to replace the EB1 and the EB2s of the green card categories. Categories because they.
No. No, that's something else.
If you
They're
look,
not replacing.
no, if you look,
They're not replacing EB1 and EB2.
Anil,
no, if you look
yeah.
at the language of that, right, which means the secretary who was present, the statement that is circulated to the press, and that statement is out now. It says that essentially they plan to remove EB1 and EB2 and offer Trump gold cards for $1 million of 80,000
That,
each.
that cannot be done without passing a law
No,
in
it can be done.
Congress.
It can be
Don't worry
done.
about it.
The gold card, which was
How?
$5 million, is now changed to
Uh-huh.
$1 million.
Platinum card, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think
No,
the
No,
speaking is right.
the
no, no.
platinum is the gold corporate one. No. Anil,
Not,
I have
not
same
replace, right?
activity.
Not replace. Use some of
It's
them.
just that there's a separate fees, and then if you are accepted, then you have to pay 1 million, and then you will get the green card, I think.
So
So that's the thing. Yeah.
yeah, the language of the EU says that if you're a person of exceptional abilities or you are with it, then then you're expected to pick up this Trump gold cards, which is as good as a green card. I'm not sure what exactly the difference would be, but the charge would be 1 million, and it is expected to replace the EB1 and the EB2 categories, which means EB1, ABC, all of them.
So what they
And
Yeah, so basic have 1 million, so you can apply for that.
yeah,
And maybe before your visa get expired, you need 1 million. I think you can take loan for that also. I mean, that only Lord can tell. But if you have 1 million, so, so go for the Trump gold card, executive action in ChatGPT or Google. You'll get all the information. Trump by 1 million, you can get the green card. So that is like
the
9
funds
crore
for that
rupees.
could be a loan or could not be, because EB5 does not allow any loans.
I mean, see, from India you can get through Hawala as well. So
no,
you just need 9 crores.
guys, wait. Then
Yeah,
again, you have to prove the source of funds everywhere, even a single dollar. You have to prove it is white money, and you have to give the chain of documents as to how it
I
was
mean,
earned.
you can apply from a foreign country as well. It's not for the people who are already in US. It's for people who are outside US as well. So,
But
yeah.
Second point is you can take loan for EB5.
See, here what I'm trying to evaluate is that though we are talking about visas all the time here, but then on the side of it, even that green card of EB1s and EB2, so that they can earn money out of it.
See, they cannot. That's what I'm trying to say. They cannot change it without the Congress approval. It needs an immigration law change. That's why the country limits have been immigration law. The per country caps. They could not remove it without the Congress, and
No,
they cannot
they.
change
I
it immediately
I
by
think for
proclamation.
citizenship amendments, they need an approval in the Congress, not for the visa thing. So
No, no,
for
no.
visa, they can unilaterally change. I think you need to check with lawyer, but I think for visa, executive orders changes can remain. Make made amendment in all, whatever is already there. So EB1, they have substituted that with giving employment to 10 workers and all that. They have substituted that with $1 million. It is categorically mentioned. I will send you the tweet. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's fine because they're creating that category there. That is fine, but they're not changing the law there. And
So I
second thing is, it will be the same quota for Indians, 7% one. That will
Yeah,
still be
but
there.
how many people are willing if, from India can pay 1 million? So I mean, 7% quota is more than enough, I guess.
No, no. So in EB5 also, you don't have to pay, you have to invest 1
I
million.
think they are
It
substituting with the
still
1 million.
people are not even. So the point is when you have the investment opportunity for 1 million, where the chances are that you will get your money back. People are not even investing there to get a green card. The dates are current for Indians there. You know that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
current. That's the only category where it's current for Indians. So why would someone go and just
It's
pay the
a
1 million?
direct pathway to green card. Nah. So
So
I mean, instead of
Yeah, it's direct
giving
How it is
proof,
direct pathway, right?
it's
Like
the same
it
thing.
is going to be you are going to be in the queue. Like now it is 2022 backdated, right?
okay,
So
so that
even if someone is going to pay 1 million, you are going to your PD is going to be uh, late, right? Like 2026 for like anyone else.
maybe I don't
Right.
have knowledge of
That,
that, but if you read that Trump gold card thing, you will
But
realize
that
that
is just an
just
executive
1 million.
order. It's not a proclamation. So that rules has to come it out of the rules. So it had to come out. And Rahul Reddy or someone was saying it is one criteria out of 10 for paying that 1 million. I'm not sure how far that is true, but uh, but again it will go and you are going to wait in the line.
yeah, so they will have to, yeah, they will find a category, subcategory within that. And that subcategory will have to go through the Congress approval as well. The same thing happened for EB5 in 2022, where they created two subcategories. They will,
Yeah. So maybe he's just playing to the galleries the way he was playing for the birthright citizenship, but this is what he has written in the right. It needs Congress approval, but maybe he's just playing. Yeah.
Birthright citizenship is the citizenship amendment change. So that needs to be passed through the Congress and the Senate and all the states with two-third
No,
majority,
this
right?
7% also, no, this
no, no,
7% and 40K each category,
Yeah,
but this
that
is
is
a
also through Congress. Yeah, that is also through Congress. But this 1 million thing that is not necessarily through the Congress. I mean, it's not Pakistan can directly pay 1 million and get a green card. Yeah, or for somebody from
they,
Nepal or Sri
they,
Lanka. Yeah.
no, they can also file EB2 without paying anything. They will get green card within 6 months. Because, but I'm saying,
Yeah,
why
I
would
mean,
someone pay 1
suppose
million
you
in
suppose
only
you are a millionaire sitting in Nepal or Sri Lanka or Pakistan. You just need 9 crores and you apply for it, and if you are so that is also there is separate processing fees. So processing fees is non-refundable, but only if you clear everything by paying the processing fees, then eventually they will ask you that pay 1 million, then you pay 1 million, and then you get the green card.
Yeah, it's the
I
same.
mean, it is.
See, it's if you invest in a business, and if business does well, you will double your.
Yeah, but that's a complicated process, right? You have to invest that you need to show so many documents.
It's the same
No,
thing.
no, it's not the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's background and whatever BGC, and then they will give you.
Yeah, you have to give out the paper trail. It's the same thing in EB5. Exact same thing. They are just trying to copy paste and they're trying to carve a category, special category with and calling it EB.
See, the debate is between not the gold card and the EB5. The part is that even that is a congressional approval or doesn't need a one, but since his intent is to replace this EB1 and EB2, as per the press, the dates will also not move the priority date for green cards for Indians or for
Yeah,
anyone.
but I think they will try to make the criteria space for these people who are paying the 1 million directly. Otherwise, how will we? Because the proclamation says that we will approve green card in record time, right? But like if you were born in India, there is no green card available for you as well today, right? So they can't even approve it in record time. To make that happen, to push the dates forward, they will have to stop someone, right? Further ahead in the queue. Right? Because they cannot push you forward without clearing the backlog. Right now, the backlog for EB2 is in 2013. EB3 is 2013. EB1 is, I think, somewhere. They will have to carve out some space for Indians, right? Otherwise, everyone else is getting the green card anyway in 6 months to 1 year. Why would they pay 1 million? Only think from that point of view. Well, everyone else also would like to go through EB5, because then there is a chance to get that money back. Why would you just pay the fee and never expect anything? I who just wants to donate the money, then that's a different game altogether. But a normal person would like to invest and then have the hopes of the people who want to file EB5, but they are scared by the fact that 800K is at risk in a business. They just back out because they think that they might not get 800K back, or maybe if they're not happy with that fact, and they don't think that business should lose money. That's what the thought process of a lot of people are. Here will be the rules.
I mean, somebody who wants a direct entry, I think 1 million gold card is a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially people who now in India we have like.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if the rules allow them to. Yeah. But I don't think for Indians it will work out. For Indians, everywhere else it's clogged. But let's see.
Anil, just curious, like, I mean, you saw in the your right press conference, they said this fee is annual. Like, I mean, they're expecting 100K fees, like, annually.
Yeah, that's what they said. I think somebody asked Ludwig this question, right? And he said
Oh,
it's
I'm
for.
sorry, I joined like
Anil,
a
but
few minutes late.
Textus did not say that one, right? So only he mentioned in the press conference, but in the text of White House that whatever they released, right? It does
Yeah,
not
that's
say
what
that
it
one.
was a bit
Yeah, but
confused between the EU and press conference.
yeah, the detailed rules
Yeah.
will be published, I think, maybe next week. This is the broad executive order or whatever they have written.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
But
details
this
will
is a
be.
proclamation, right? Not executive order. So it is directly, maybe FAQs will be published,
Right.
not anything else, a broader rule or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he did verbally say that it's per year. So we don't know.
Yeah, it's per year. Even
And
though
how about the re-entry permits? Like whoever is already outside, who has the stamping, like just for November 21st, is that going to impact?
Yes, that's what I understand. If you go out, you have to come back with 100K in the bag.
But the entry and re-entry is different, right? That the whole text says entry only, but that's where the confusion and the recent
Re-entry is
proclamation for
also an
the
entry.
19 no for the recent proclamation for the country ban, right? They allowed the re-entry people, not the like first time entry. He introduced that ban, country ban, right? That time he introduced for both, but this time he introduced only for the first time entry people. And here in this proclamation, they mention how they are going to do for 100K purpose.
Yeah, so assume that they will ask you to pay 100K because that's their ultimate motive, right? You just make it difficult for you to come back. They want companies to hire people here. That's the whole idea of tariffs also, right? They're just the market completely so that people buy made in US. So that's why the tariffs are like 100%, 150%, 200% anyway. So the idea is just kick them out. That's what they have done with H1B. Because who pays 100K fees just to enter for 1 year? Right? How if the company is ready to
Better
pay?
buy the gold card.
Exactly. So they are trying to push you towards gold card, right? That if you're going to pay 100K per year and get the green card, that's their idea.
But but lots of people can afford 1 million. It's not a big deal for many people, I guess.
See, affording and I speak to lot
Will be thrown. So they have whatever people you are speaking to, they have an option. I mean, it's not for so many people. I mean, 1 million even in Indian terms. I mean, as the property cost is going so high, so even I mean, we have in Bangalore and Bombay, right?
right.
So I
But
mean, it's not a very big amount
there
according
isn't
to me.
about this kind of thing happening anywhere in the world. No country charges you money to just give the green card or
No,
the
no, they
residence
give
permit.
many small countries do give. I mean, to correct you.
Yeah.
Background verification they will do, but if you pay the money, you can get their residency. I think Portugal introduced uh, that direct paying of 1 million and getting their permanent residency,
So one
and many smaller countries like Nirav Modi and all that, Mehul Choksi of Trinidad and Tobago, right, the Caribbean country. He also purchased the residency of that or citizenship of that country by paying 1 or 2 million.
no, you
So
have to invest.
it
You have to
is
invest.
in so many countries. Yeah,
You have to invest that money there. Is it direct fee?
government that much money, and then they will give you the residency, and then
No,
this
that's okay because those
citizenship as
countries
well.
are
Yeah.
developing. Those countries are developing countries. They need that money.
No,
But
they are
in the
not
developing
developing.
part,
They are like they are smaller countries, but they are like they are first world countries. So not every country does that, but there are countries who do that. And I think uh, many people from India will go for that option if it stays. I think maximum applications will come from India because 9 crore is not a big amount for many Indians, especially if they can arrange. So they can definitely arrange 9 crores for the permanent residency. Yeah.
yeah, good for people who can do that, but I doubt because I've spoken to a lot of people, almost 90% of them back out from even EB5 because it makes no sense to just get the green card and pay
No,
1 million
but
as
someone who is in US and and his wife is also earning 1 or 2 lakhs. It's a good deal for them. They can apply for a loan, and it is a good. I mean, if even for a house, you are buying 1 million house. If you are buying,
you buying the house. It's a fee. It's
yeah,
non-refundable.
no,
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't matter what people
Can I
think,
answer
but
one?
And I think if you look at how the conference went today, right? Like somebody
will pay him an extra 100,000. I think that will be so. So for the 73% of them Indians, I think it is mostly based companies like Infosys and all that. Um, they will suffer the most, I guess. But for the high end, I think they will be willing to pay in case they think that person is is eligible and 500,000 he will earn 400,000 and he will get his visa extended. So I think that kind of business model will run
No,
in the
but
long
the
run.
point
right,
is, but the
but
point is,
that's not.
what, I mean, just to add here, I mean, I'm from the valley, not much of a base, right? I mean, except for Netflix or a couple of other companies that really totally rely on base salary. People are grants, sometimes front loaded, sometimes back loaded. So there's a lot of composite going on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I'm sorry to sort of put this out there, but I really think we are kind of at the cusp of something bigger than just extortion of $9 billion for 85,000. Even if we overlook that. Now in the US,
Thing every sixth person on this, yeah, every sixth person on this planet is that it will mostly affect Indian and Chinese. China, they have progressed a lot, creating enough jobs within China, and China is like first world country, so they are not that much impacted. But Indians, obviously, India has also gone to another level, but obviously also uh, we do depend on US for that. So we are going to
Yeah.
suffer, but I think in the long run, more companies will be opened in India, more work will be outsourced to India,
Yeah.
who are here
It's
on H1B.
it's
But
absolutely
overall, it will be good for India.
I
Yeah.
think long term, the even with India, right? I think the economy will just be pushed to the wall. The Indian economy is not going to be, end up innovating or finding ways to, be a little more creative with what how they want to innovate and kind of be competitive in the US or in who for all purposes feels like they belong here. Like in my example, I'm telling you, in the US, it's it's borderline heartbreaking to see something like this. That regulation, and honestly, it's very very premature. I mean, I like to think about things very objectively, and I think in the long run, this is just going to hurt the US because just like moving manufacturing to the China, to China 40 years ago, and look what's happening. They, in the middle of a crisis, the military equipment and COVID masks, everything was coming from China because nothing could be manufactured here. I mean, same thing with iPhones, right? So I think, I think there's a lot of um, there is a lot of race-based motivation here, and it just hurts. Um, is degenerating to such low degree at this point.
I think that's okay. World across the world, if you see this same thing happening, you see it now.
Absolutely, but again, US with being so visible, right?
Yeah,
Something
because
happens in Yemen, visibility is so low, but when something like this happens, it really emboldens a lot of people in their beliefs as
right,
well.
yeah, because US is the largest country with the most amount of money, right? So they try to set the standards for, I don't know how long it's going to happen or how long it's going to stay like that. But it is what it is. At
Yeah.
least for the next couple of years, we have to, you know, this year has been very tough for immigrants. So, yeah, I don't know how it's going to pan out in the next couple.
Yeah, it's disease every few months. It's like like think about an
Every week.
individual first diagnosed with cardiovascular diseases, and then a couple of months later there's like neurological
Yeah,
degeneration, whatever. I mean, it's like on an
yeah.
individual level. For me personally, for me, my wife, be honest. Um,
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people who were going to Mexico for visa stamping that was blocked. Now get it. You don't get stamping appointments easily, then drop boxes removed. They
well,
are that is the biggest hurdle, man. Well, I don't know. I've never heard about it. Just for entry for 1 year, you need
Folks, unfortunately for the folks who would have traveled a few hours before this whole saga unfolded, I mean, by the time they'll reach India, they may not have enough time to get back on the immediate next plane to USA.
I'm pretty sure they'll come back. Because I'm telling people that a lot of people called me. I told them that they're in India. I told them get charter. That's the only chance you have. We don't know what will the court will say or what will happen in the next 10 days. But right now you have 20.
And I think in all, like CBP has full authority for letting an individual get in the country, right? So as how much they are on this track as to hey, this team shared this memo, because I guess is going to operate what CBP is supposed to do in all this situation. So I doubt they all would be aligned at this point or would have been aligned before this. So I don't know. Maybe for a couple of days after, even after this expires or this comes into effect, maybe people may still be safely coming back into US.
Right, the section 2A is for the people who was petitioning the first time, and section 2B, if I read it correctly. So they called it out clearly that at all the places they have.
I was just checking the Delhi to JFK ticket prices for tomorrow, and they have not increased. Oh, can you believe it? American Airlines flight, 16 hours, Delhi to JFK, $4,500 one way for tomorrow. That's it.
But even if they start on 21st only, right?
I mean, this is a 16-hour flight. I don't know.
It's going to be a very tricky for like folks who are already in transit, like few hours just before, like 4 hours later this came out. So yeah, it's tough.
So person who will be entering tomorrow at 11:45 p.m. He'll be the versus the person who is entering at 12 midnight.
Even if he landed and by the time he reaches to the port of entry desk, we don't.
He might just jump out of the plane.
One thing I
towards
wanted to
India.
ask is like, even if say if someone is coming from stamping, say on Monday or something like that, right? Like how will they pay the mention of like what would be happening? Right? They have through the mode of payment and who needs to be addressed to and all those details are never.
Nothing is shared. There are so
Nothing is in
many
here, right?
things that
100K pay.
right
How
exactly. And everyone has it in stocks or somewhere invested, right? And how are companies going to handle this? Right? Forget about the individual people. How are companies going to take this? They have to plan their budgets, the project budgets, and everything. If a single person is costing you how businesses to adjust, it's a tariff straight away, right?
Yeah, I think many are anticipating this as a gimmick more towards like, bending, letting India be in truth.
I don't think I don't think it is related to
No, I don't think so too.
India. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it has
it's
nothing
like
to do with Modi.
Yeah, I want to share like 2 cents, like what I'm thinking, like where this is all coming from, right? Like if we go back a year back, where we started all this like entire, I wouldn't say like hate, but the entire like joblessness of Americans because of Indians taking over those jobs, right? Over the last 1 year, if you see how everything has been growing, that's one part. And then the second part is like the US economic data, right? Because of AI, and then people are like losing jobs. So obviously that is also one part. And then I feel that there might have been definitely discussions around how the job projections would be like say 5 years, 10 years down the line. Because if you look at the entire immigration, why the US has started immigration like 50, I feel like maybe few years down the line, they might not need as many immigrants coming from the level jobs AI can do, or like even the advanced level jobs, right? Because we can clearly see that entire AI path it's increasing exponentially. Uh, I feel like probably that's true, and I feel like maybe this might be just a starting point. We might see more and more stricter rules coming, like blocked in code, or like it gets eased. Like slowly we might see a lot more and more developments happening. Go back and see the last 1 6 months of economic data in US, the jobs have been like really really bad. So yeah. I mean, if you look at that from that, who would have US citizen kids coming close to their, adulthood or 18 plus criteria, right? So, I mean, even if they are not naturalized or they are not US citizens or don't have GC yet, and if you send them back, they are eventually going to come back in few years, right? By the for them, right? So, um, I mean, it's a circle, right? Eventually, this set of population will age out and then come in that bucket where they have an opportunity to come back, and why wouldn't they come back, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, and it has been a day, and flying day was
And I think everyone, yeah, one of really apprehensive, like thinking twice, and then he just met me last weekend, and then he boarded the flight to India. Like of people in that kind of situation. Uh,
yeah. One
I
time,
heard one from a European airport asking, should have the mod or the spaces owner was like, of course, no.
called me and he said that I'm flying domestic tomorrow. Should I fly panicking? Oh, of course, this is a situation.
Yeah, and I think in coming months, depending on how this whole thing happens at the company level, right? Because even is no, they cannot stop people from going eventually to go back to. I don't know how companies, response would be or tackling of. I guess they are gonna go with their option of offering employers to, hey, sorry, we blah 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 policy administration this way that way, but we do offer you us, but just in a different country. So
Right.
because companies won't be supporting I believe game can keep on continuing for folks staying in US because they saw 8 years kind of. So they would
Exactly.
think from that perspective and carve out a policy for it on them. Accept it or move on.
Right. Right. Okay. To speak. Are you there? Um, anyone else who wants to share their opinion?
Hey there, this is a Native American here. I think I heard somebody say they think that they happy to see you all go get out of here, get back to your country, and God bless you. God bless you and your country. Stay here.
Anyone else? Okay. It's like everyone went silent. All more people to come on stage. Someone has requested to speak. You want to speak? Yeah. Which movie? It's a web series that I saw. Bad crap that comes out these days. But it was okay. Went south. South in the sense that it
Art is more comic.
exactly left. Yes. I laughed at it. It's completely grounded as it's a one-time watch. He has been trained at it. So, but he might have. But these days, I'm not watching Bollywood stuff. I'm either Malayalam movies. They are very good. So Tamil movies. Of course, dubbed versions. Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I feel like this rule, if it's gonna start a offshoring boom, and it's gonna be good for India in general. Um, the only uh, it might be difficult for us because not everybody can like high school or like maybe starting college or something for the kids to go back and realign with the different environment. But other way or other, it's the Indians, nobody else is gonna do that job. I mean, I've worked in, I just don't see
work being done by have the numbers, and secondly, a very niche or very special without the immigrants just don't have the number. Right, the business the way to get things done. And you have seen like how Microsoft crossed the border just to just to get by. Like they've opened a big office in Canada. Right. The people who are thinking that this job that is just not going to happen. Okay. Here to do social work. They're here to make right, right. You buy it, your price, that manufacturing labor in the same for IT as well. It is moment a task becomes trivial and its output or the value of the output is lowered, right? And with the niche skill set. Otherwise, the work is like say there will be like five people working. Five people who are working actually has to have a very high which are trivial and repetitive in a first world country. Because the cost of labor is high. Yeah. But business will try to reduce the cost as much as in the world. The funny thing is real jobs are even easier than manufacturing. They have to say and all those things. IT is just like build the connectivity, open an office, and you're done. Yeah, that's correct. I agree. Yeah, and even with of creating this or right and I feel like the skills, but there is still a lot of resources or any number of resources here to do that work. Right. Business spend extra money for the filing and everything. The attorneys, if they can find someone else, everything by the law. They're not, manufacturing the idea of H1B. It is allowed by the government and the law. Reason that this H1B program was started, right? I don't see that is that cross section of of the demography. Do you find how many do you find are taking the STEM people who are going to graduate college even less, right? And even right. So I think their idea is that if like that's probably their idea to restrict the number of people coming from give the like for example if the company has to buy
they might as well pay 180K to the person already here in the here, and they will also get the job. So they're trying to hit.
But people who are assuming these things,
Right.
I believe that they are very little easy to like hire somebody outside US with the same skill set and like how
Everyone on this group at this time understand the economics and how it works, and a different game than economics. Politicians look at this as keep their core voter base happy, even if it achieves anything. Voter base should be happy. If it is stuck down, then we tried, but the courts did not let it happen, right? And big businesses lobby for everything that they want. And I'm sure they are lobbying different than what they are lobbying for. So there is something that we are not able to see direct, which we may never be able to see or maybe understand. Because
and one more thing I'm just thinking is just that it's far on one extreme.
yeah,
Just imagine with the other extreme.
most of the political analytics were saying that in the previous government era, there it has now swung to extreme right. Right. Let's see what happens. Even the voters, so we cannot even decide what is
I think we will get a little bit of vibe in the midterms.
Yeah. Right? They're just announcing something every week, some numbers in the news that we have achieved this much, or we have removed these many people, or we have crashed. That's because of the midterms. They're trying to prove that whatever they promised in the elections is what they.
Yeah, it's more of an optics. I believe anybody who are
Right. The Americans at large, right? But businesses are also trying, finding it very hard for their purchases, their budgets 1 year in advance, or some of them 5 years in advance, right? But with these tariff on H1B, you then get 100K tariff per individual. So I don't know how are they going to change their budgets. For small companies,
I mean, I understand they might shelve some work or some projects for now for
right?
lack of reason, a very like higher salary than they are of course.
Right. Yeah. And I think the first, instead of spending 100K straight away,
And that 100K is not even per H1B for 3 years. It's per year that they are saying will be charged on hiring a person, right? I don't know how businesses are going to adjust things. Uh, their attorneys have sent an email saying that we don't know how to react to it, but people who are somehow and whosoever cannot come back, we will have to think about a strategy. Any employer is going to shell out 100K straight away easily. Maybe out of thousands, maybe 10 employers will be willing to do it. If you, otherwise, they will find some replacement somewhere in the world.
Right, right. And see, this administration in their heart also, this is testing waters for them. And it's gonna stand the test of time. And I wanted to add one. Only courts are the last show. If the courts there, it will stay the next period. I want to add something in here. And this is only, they only said that 1 year. So, in essence, they are still test. Yeah, like, yeah, like the person said rightly, like, he's just not businessman. He knows the business, and it's okay. America has given him into about it, but it's more of an antique than aware of it. No one is going to survive if maybe ink.
Is anybody from Microsoft here in this call or maybe Amazon? Come back before midnight tomorrow or true? Can anybody confirm?
Yeah, but
Private flights that are available. I'm pretty sure some people will take, people take,
yeah,
right? So,
the fleet owned by Ambani.
you- yeah, it is okay. They can,
Yeah, when
they
to
can,
buy a Tesla, saw already a Newman channel.
I don't know, let's see, there will be stories in India.
But I see this, know, see, it's not by H1B where there is some degree of truth to that. I believe they will also realize that it's mutual respect as we respect them. Doing this to America from last one, from 1950s, like we have never bent in front of them. That we demand from America if they don't want, then by our politicians should be more accountable. They should, the politician, I don't want to name or pinpoint some
interviews they enjoy a lot in India. Like, it's time for us to ask them. In India, it's like a GDP growth with no job, not a platform about India bashing, but think about it and how to go for. Yeah, I think what I don't know, maybe they are not and so Trump is a very smart business in the political environment. The way we have a upper hand in Indians from every powerful person will use that, right? But yeah, that nothing new about it. Yeah, quite possible, yeah. Anybody working for Microsoft or so? Yeah. Okay. Yes, they got an email from the not exactly sure regarding this related travel. Right. Yeah. Outside the US currently traveling so they can support in whatever way necessary. Right. Yeah. So because saying that just don't take the risk, they never, they don't, they say they're not clear on if it applies to the existing outside US. They sent out a form to fill up. A lot of people who are currently outside and cannot return by tomorrow. I heard the same for Amazon as well, that they have also got travel and back by tomorrow. Well, Anil, that people can come back by tomorrow. Just flight is from, I 14 hours. 14, yeah. Yeah, but then, no, international flight Delhi to JFK right now it is $4,500. The people will even travel in I mean, jokes apart, but this events and all the life will there, they will if they can't, they can't, right? But if because you you don't know how it's going to pan out. Bye bye. Everything is the same. Exactly. At least the consulting company, even the Microsoft and Amazon, they are feeling the pinch. So as a person, at least the employees have mental. It's going to be cheap labor. Right. Yeah. Yes, some jobs has an office in India from Amazon company. They are thinking that all these jobs will vanish to India or somewhere down the line. Absolutely. However, the options for working offshore is the data because there are some compliance governance, but with it's just very don't see any problem in Microsoft has said that what I heard from right now, they might just have a strategy for them to keep working outside. Sure, I don't think anybody is going to pay that. At least I don't think at least this is going to be maybe an alternate view on this take. Can everything can be challenged and pretty solid here, so they are going to lobby as well to maybe right, but you never know. It's all future. Keep on talking and generate that positive
a court will not entertain this, even if this is not something that's reasonable or feasible. We can, the other businesses house, they they know them, and something of similar sort will keep on coming. They will plan and they will be ready for it rather than relying, and that's completely unreasonable and never will happen in future. Will end up impacting in some capacity. Companies will take a multi-dimensional approach. They'll go the lobbying way.
Yeah, you have to be prepared. That anything we need to know what are there people are confused like keys and all. What are you going to do? That is thank you so much. The extensions, amendments, transfers without paying the fee. The fee is only on the then you will have to see it's as simple as that. Like he or way to shake up the system happens for good maybe we also yeah खाएंगे till what time you are going to I am the super some other accountability. Yeah, that's the same thing happened in COVID. Think of it. Yeah. You can't see Dropbox mother fever. Okay, Dropbox. So they were just obliging to it now defaulting, but for for the extension also we can't do anything to the president and you are on their land. Whatever their they're discussing, I have to respect their can't do anything. You want to share your opinion? Oh yeah, buggy I just returned right now. But I think it's probably gonna. I don't know if there is already a proclamation that he already signed, but over time. Yeah. Abhishek, you have something to. No, that's it. Must phase of extension we have filed in uh, confused whether we can stay or we have to leave. No, I think my 8 years daughter them to come inside immediately. That means people who are inside us bad in our homeland, means India, for to, that's true, right? Anything dead, unless you get advance payroll, you first we get a shock from that in-person interview is okay. We can go for in-person interview for a renewal. Okay, that is the one I want to know from you. Time have you spent on H1B Abhishek, if I can ask? She is from 2020, 2021. 21. People here have been waiting for last 15 years on H1B. Our extension is filed on 2025 March. That's fine, yeah. Are we safe? We can stay in US? That's yes. Okay. But we can't travel back to India, right? Correct. You can if you want. It depends from person to person. I can't come up and a company can afford. It depends, yeah. Even individuals in India, in America can afford about make a million more frequently now. Yes. Who wants to speak next? If anybody has any question or I am only welcome to go back, but they tell me when to go back. To go back. They are telling. And they telling if you want to come back, pay 100,000. Correct. Absolutely correct. They are not saying it directly, but they are saying it. That's all. No. It's their country, their laws. Correct. It's up to us to follow it or not follow it. They are not. No, we are following the laws. We are not allowed. That is fine, man. I mean, we are all in the same boat. Right? That can work. And my concern is that in Indian companies who is going to pay. That is my concern. That is we are going to pay the concern. Like next week by Monday, there will be some solution. Back in India, I saw the social media. They can come back to India. Who is going to pay? People who are asking. That is in India, workers in USA, but people in India I saw in social. Indian talents will be not drained out. Who is going to pay? My experience is due back, but they will. But who is going to pay? They themselves will run out. I am telling you that much. I don't. I don't know. But who is going to pay these people? Where is the client? Yeah. Client. I am asking you. Okay, can we move to the next person? I think our yes, if I message is clear for the companies that don't have H1B uncertainty for a long period of time. And then if we have a certainty, I think there are
either you go EB5 at this point I'm willing to trade my dream of having that money towards that, right? So with Asia, if I visit, pay 800K for EB5, yeah, right? 1 million, why you will come to America? You will be happy in India. No, that's amazing thing, right? It's just very hard for if you want to stay in USA. Then my opinion is that go towards still not a legal process. Okay, they are just saying that for it, it's not designed by government or the Congress. Anil, I just wanted to add, see, America, but if you get a green card through gold, then you can sue the US government. Isn't it? As a non you, to be honest, you are very gold promises. Okay. To, uh, 3 months ago. But there's no, let's say tomorrow you want to file. What is the legal process? There is no clear picture. What by legal process? Bringing a new immigration. You cannot. It is that it to go to Congress and that will just take forever. See the way they've been between the next election is no, it's going to happen. See, immigration is a very, it's not going to happen that easily. They have not changed the immigration line because not, if you want a practical suggestion, my opinion, to get them tomorrow, EB1 gold card, give it to them. Yeah, and the only pros and cons have been, and for some reason, I mean, we don't to loan or put our assets at risk or something like that. How do you know that that is still at jeopardy, right? After going through all that. My question is in this gold card. So, Anil, what I am going to pay a processing fees, they will with that will do all the background verification and and after that eventually the end you are the processing of the application and then the residency permit. So that this is given today only, so we don't know the roadmap and you will find online. So yeah, you have that roadmap and then go ahead and do it. Yeah. So agree that EB5 is a little better option because in a way you are, if not all, so
If I was in your place, I would have gone. But it depends on your own personal condition and the way you think. Everything depends on me. If and I might play safe and only buy a single.
Yeah. Or like I would go with
The process passed by Congress. It has a legal backing. Gold card, go ahead and get it. The ultimate
clearly there is no provision, but why they are keep hard there? It is we don't know. I mean, President of the United States is saying that I'm telling if he is telling that everywhere is taxation reform. Okay. No, it's not immigration. The thing is that immigration reform is mainly related to the government can. See, there is nothing there. Okay. Either you do this. I have told you my case in March that is my genuine question. In our you stay as long as it's not happening. Right now we have no plan to just stay inside US, don't go anywhere. Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah, but the main problem was young like elders sometimes thinking like here right now it's in 12th grade in Helma. That is very new 2020. Then just go with the flow. Once he turns 21, then you can take convert to a student visa and then keep studying it if he wants. Kid wants to do. They can take a decision at that time. I'm wishing them good with you, but don't worry about it, man. I mean, this is a situation. It will. Yes.
They haven't explicitly come out again, but it, from the statue looks like H4 dependence has still.
I mean, it's not an exclusive thing. Asking for the interpretation and then very influential. H4 is the dependence of H1 very abstract. Right? So
Says restriction do H1 and H4 are different classes of.
see, nobody knows what is going to happen tomorrow. Companies and every company has told their employees calm and quiet and watch. Privilege for if they can travel or not travel. Yeah, like the situation is very fluid. Want to have more fun watching Indian news. They may have blood. Blood everywhere. It's outbreak. Like very get links from Indian news every day. Somebody uses like more bullshit than any substance. They just blow up every. And on the same point, and on the every time similar situation happens, or none of them have been asking questions because it's the same thing. The reality and actually showed up today and they are not aware of it. Yeah, that's how the situation is. Okay. The Indian news announced that they are giving green card to Indians from Indian politician to know that politicians toes it to either if you want to believe it, if you if they were giving green cards so easy, right? Why would you come and ask me getting that green card? Exodus to Canada started, right? There's a lot of lot of lot of attorneys they can get these already set chronically. I mean, also getting tougher and tougher because but was also very tall out of to be very frank, my nation towards getting PR in the road this way now. We have to get rid of dream has become like something of course there is something I see. Okay, but the fact is green card does not look green. Correct. Right? My friend showed me not correct is green. This is light we should take. Yeah, that's what China is also discussing America. We should be like older kids, and I mean, it, yeah, it's easier at least in the end or high level kind of a selfish environment. Just slug it out and the round is fine, right? If your kids are already in the Indian system, if the kids are there, they are going to come back, parents to make their life comfortable and take them tougher way. Yeah, true. Times is reporting that White House $1,000 only to this unnamed individual. They're not going to get a penny out of it. It will be challenging that that he has taken the account. So what does that matter to the court? taken the confidence from me, and yes, other not the big giant. But it's a soft target for India, right? I mean, this very well maybe turn out that it's specifically mine, right? And that specifically to hurt this showing to his core water. People here has given him an opportunity to see its own place. He is 100% right. Yeah, okay. The way Modi does it, the way like what's wrong in that? I don't understand. Like it comes out of it well and good. If America dug in history, okay, politics is not being stagnant on it. And of course, there are people setting it's a big mess, it's a liability, and why did I really why come back to India, come back to pay? That is my question. Those guys, the signal. Now this is why if they put a 25% tariff, don't worry about it. Compare that what do you think to pay 25% tax? You pay 1/4 of how much are you going to pay? Services are not tend to be very like they have come so she has always a degree of truth about just because I'm an Indian. Okay, that is you, but about the gold card, I think million if you high house for the most part in terms of their houses, crypto, whatever, you cannot use the gold card. Just I think the let's say I don't know, to 500,000. So I should be invested in terms of having cannot be used as a collateral to get a gold that is you Thank you. Not yet. My wife and uh, it's a big, bigger to stress. How you laugh. No, no, we are not the citizen of this country. Very immigrant now. They want, they want you to go back to India. But really, what is your straight answer? You have to ask your no. No administration has time to necessarily which they're indirectly telling us mutton biryani, veg biryani or chicken teriyaki breast. I very good mutton biryani, chicken biryani. Okay, which restaurant? Very, that is US. No, I live in Chelmsford. Okay, I'm in Shrewsbury. Want to leave us, then we leave others. Eat biryani tonight and sleep well. The noise. I have a few questions here. I'm audible. Go ahead. Go ahead. Kids who are US citizen. What my point? Kids who are US citizen would be impacted. They don't care if, like, they don't care. I am quite familiar with the Canadian immigration consideration, the HNC, their stays or things like that, they still give them. Um, and here in this case, uh, there will be some dilation, uh, and let's hope they don't care. They don't think about it. Okay, the system does not care for minor Americans. Yeah, that's true. When the kids turn 21, they have one of my friend, he was denied H1B. So I will go to the court. That is far better than American. So your kid will be better educated about it. Very there's some leeway given, right, to people. I'm just hoping that some leeway is given in this case, right? There's no mercy. Yeah, I'm just thinking there is a positive, even though it might still go through, but not. What donor? Yeah,
guys move up.